today we're gonna go ahead and do a clipper cut on our friend Lynn. So we've already shampooed, blown dry with a little bit of Confixor. We're using a different cutting technique. It's a clipper technique that we picked up in Minneapolis, Minnesota last year. Olivia and I went there. So we cut the hair dry, we pinpoint our guideline, and what the clipper cut does is it allows you to get a really strong line. So when you're using scissors, even they're really sharp scissors, what happens is that you can still push the hair around. So the clippers actually give us a nice blunt line so that Lynn will not look like every other person in Kerrville with a bob. So this gives her a different perspective, and we're able to trim it up and get it all cleaned up. So we'll come revisit this once we've gone to the next section. All right, we've already finished that first section, so we're going to Lynn's second section. You can sort of see the guideline right behind the comb. So we're going straight in. We're doing a little bit of a bevel so that we can have the top layer a little longer than the underneath layer. To kind of clean it up underneath, I've changed that angle a little bit, just following along my comb. So even if you're not a barber, you can still do this cut. And we're coming in really close. And again, just leaving it a little bit longer on the exterior layer, following it all the way around. Make sure your client is just as good as Lynn by being still. We're coming all the way around and in towards the neckline. And finishing this off right to the back of her jaw. Cleaning up a little bit, making sure everything is symmetric underneath. All right, we're going to our next section. We're rounding it off to the sides, and then also what I like to use is a little bit of our Shampure Thermal Styling Spray, so it kind of controls a little bit of that static. Gives me some nice sheen in the hair. So we're gonna clean this up a little bit in the back. Now what I do is I remove most of the weight with the clippers, but then after that I'll go through with the scissors so we can soften the line just slightly, give her a little more texture and some face framing, which will be really nice. What we're doing is we're coming around to the sides. I'm gonna use a little bit of tension with my hands and use my hands as a ruler to guide me along so that we don't have anything underneath that leaves any kind of excess weight. And again, we're just rounding this to Lynn's jawline. And then we'll compare it to the other side to make sure we've gone short enough. And like I said, we're gonna come back through, do a little bit of point cutting, but right now, that looks good. So what's important is to always stay in communication with your client. So on that little break, we gave Lynn her glasses so she could take a quick little peek, and she said, you know what, I'd like to go a little shorter. So that's what we're doing. We're going a little bit shorter on the sides. We had already done a slight inversion in the back, so all I'm doing is evening it up all the way from the back of the nape to her jawline, because that's the important part. We want our clients to be happy. All right, so we're already going back over to the other side now. Lynn said that she likes that new length, so we're gonna match it to the right side. And again, this gives a really blunt line, so it's just more swingy. Coming through, just cleaning up that line a little bit. Working all the way to the jaw, again using my fingers as my guideline. And then coming back around as one. Okay, guys, we've already trimmed Lynn's bangs, and she likes it a little bit shorter, so it keeps her a little more trendy, I think. As well as we're gonna go through and kind of break up that blunt line on her bang. She has a little bit of a cowlick on the right side, so you have to be careful and leave that just slightly longer so it doesn't raise up like a little alfalfa on the front of her face, so that's not good. And then we're gonna work right around her face with a little bit of blending. Not too much, because we're gonna keep some length tapered all the way to the point in the front of her jaw. So if you round it off too much, she won't have that much hair. So again, we're taking section by section. And so again, we're just kind of going into those points, and then we're gonna drop the rest of it so it's not rounded off too much. And then that way we'll go back through with some point cutting around her face. So we keep breaking up that line just to kind of keep it soft. And in this way, when she's blow drying her hair and possibly flat ironing it, it's got more texture to it. All right, so what we've done is some point cutting. And as you notice, we're doing a lot of this while the hair is dry. I'm over directing her lines so that again, the bob itself at the base of the neckline has a stronger cut to it. So again, over directing, the guideline is right at the center of the top of Lynn's crown. So I'm going at a pivot using that center as my guideline. And again, over directing the hair so we can just like nip those ends. And one important thing is, as a hairdresser, is to keep your shoulders level so that you always have the same angle from any direction that you're going. And I love to finish a haircut like this dry because I can really see exactly where it's falling, where it's heavy, where it needs to be brightened up a little bit. And you can really see the movement when the hair is dry. And then you get a lot of the work done at that point. So everyone, we finished the cut. We just blew out a few of the loose hairs. We've already had Lynn put her glasses on so she can look at the cut and make sure everything looks good, and she's really liked it. So we shampooed with the new Rosemary Mint shampoo and conditioner. It was very invigorating. Doesn't hurt that I have strong hands and gives a really nice shampoo. We used the Confixor first as our start off. And then as I mentioned, we used the Shampure Thermal Dry Conditioning Spray to keep those frizzies down. And I'm just gonna finish it off with our Control Paste pomade. And always remember, less is more. So you just use a tiny bit, make sure you emulsify it in your hands. You can't even see it, but it's actually tacky. And then that way we can break up Lynn's haircut and show off some of the texture and the movement. And again, it's really working it into the exterior layer, not going too rough with it. So it just shows off that pieciness. And then she has a modern blunt bob that looks pretty cool all the way around. So you all have a great day, and don't forget, tune in a few minutes because we're gonna do a makeup touch-up, which is what we do for all of our clients here at Scott & Company. Have a good day. All right, guys, now we've got Sydney touching up Lynn's makeup. What are you using on Lynn's skin, Sydney?
I used mineral powder. Yes.
That sounds nice. Looks so sanitized. And this is really great after you get a haircut. You get all the loose hairs off, finish off the look of it so she can head out to go do whatever she's gonna be doing. And if you're just doing loose powder, mineral powder?
Yes.
Is it? Okay. And then for makeup touch-up, what all do you really include with that after a haircut, Sydney?
Usually powder, blush, a little eyeshadow, and then lipstick or lip gloss.
Perfect.
Now I'm using our Rose Blossom blush.
Now the blush comes in a metallic container.
Yes.
That can be magnetized, that goes into our compacts, right?
Yes.
Now you moved on to some eyeshadow.
Yes.
And what color are you using?
I'm using this light brown color just in her crease, and then a brighter color just under her eyebrow to lift the brow.
Perfect.
And then I finished it off with the Honey Ginger lipstick.
Honey Ginger lipstick,
Yes.
We're going in for that close-up. Thank you, Lynn, for being our model today.
You're welcome.
All righty.